Mark Breland, well, will it go the distance? We'll see. This ABC Sports exclusive will be back after this commercial and a word from our local station.
Give all the tickets away for free tonight. That's exactly what's taking place. He is the headliner. The Olympic welterweight gold medalist, the most heralded amateur of all time, Mark Breland. Right now, let's examine his boxing history. Manhattan's most famous symbol, the Empire State Building, is clearly visible from across the East River, from the borough of Brooklyn, the home of Mark Breland, the most heralded American amateur boxer ever. Breland made a spectacular international amateur debut at the 1982 World Championships in Munich, West Germany, when he met the veteran Soviet boxer Serek Konikbayev in the welterweight final. Here in round 2, Breland shocked the Soviet with a devastating right hand. Mark went on to win the title and was the tournament's outstanding boxer. Later that year, he faced the top Cuban welterweight, Candelario Duvergel, at the U.S.-Cuba dual meet in Reno. And after a slow start, Breland came on strong in round 3 to score a standing 8-count and eventually win the decision. But in 1983, Mark's career suffered a serious setback when he broke his right hand so badly it required surgery. With his future in doubt, Mark returned to the ring in last year's U.S. National Championships, and he proved to James Mitchell and all the doubters his punching power was still there. Earlier this year, Breland did something unprecedented in the history of the New York Golden Glove when he beat Victor Luger to become the first man to win the title 5 times. A couple of months later, he won a 3rd world championship by outpointing an awkward Luciano Bruno of Italy to solidify his standing as the clear favorite to win the gold medal at the Los Angeles Olympics. But it wasn't as easy as most people expected in L.A. The road to the gold had a few bumps. Here in his opening bout with lightly regarded Wayne Gordon of Canada, Breland caught a right hand early in the fight and took a standing 8-count. And although he went on to win, he was not impressive. The much-heralded Breland punching power was in evidence in this quarterfinal bout against Mexican Gennaro Leon, who was knocked out in the first round. And then finally, in the long-awaited gold medal bout against Asian champion Young Soo Ahn, Breland was totally dominant in scoring a unanimous decision to win the gold. Earlier, I talked with Mark about his pro debut.
There are a number of people, as I'm sure you're aware, who think that you're not hungry enough, that you've got a great contract up front. Unlike anybody else really in the history of boxing, you've been an actor, that you aspire to be an actor perhaps someday, and that you're not hungry enough to want to fulfill this and go all the way and become a world champion. How do you respond to those critics?
Well, I feel those who don't think I'm hungry enough, let them get in there with me, and they'll find out how hungry I am.
So it's very important to you then to win a world championship.
Right. You know, it's a thing where, you know, they say the money and they say the movie stars and all these careers I've been dealing with. It's a thing where a lot of them, like you say, a lot of them say I'm not hungry enough. I read in the paper today, my trainer said Ray Leonard got 40,000, and I'm Mark Breland. I don't want to be Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard is Ray Leonard. Mark Breland is Mark Breland. I mean, hey, it's not my fault I'm getting 100,000 or how much I'm getting. It's just I've been getting so much publicity, and I guess their trainers and their manager are jealous. And I mean, hey, that's the way things. That's life.
Tonight, his opponent will be Dwight Williams, and I asked him his reaction when he found out he would be Mark Breland's first professional opponent.
I was glad. I was really glad because I knew and I felt that this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You know, this guy just won the Olympics, and he's Olympic champion. You know, he's 5-time Golden Glove champion. You know, I have all these obstacles ahead of me. And if I can beat all these obstacles, that means that I'm supposed to have been where this guy has been.
Well, the opportunity is one thing. Let's talk about the reality of it now. You know how good he is. You've seen him many times, I'm sure. What chance do you have of winning?
I have just about as good a chance as he has.
Well, we'll find out, because that time is at hand right now. It's one thing to say it and to be that confident. It's another to manifest it. So we'll find out about Dwight Williams, who was born in Brooklyn and makes his home in Syracuse, but all eyes will be focused upon Mark Breland. For Breland, not only a professional debut, but in the best of circumstances for him. Headliner at Madison Square Garden. He's fought here before in the Golden Gloves and various amateur competitions. right across the East River from Brooklyn. So here he is in his hometown, already a big hometown hero, the Olympic champion. And there is Dwight Williams, who had a very short amateur career. For a while, his address was prison. Got out of jail, became a professional boxer, 7-1 with 2 draws, his recorded record. So, Dwight Williams, at the age of 27, and the crowd responding now to the introduction of Mark Breland. He's heard those cheers before. 5-time New York Golden Gloves champion. Tail of the tape right there. Williams, 6 years older. Breland weighed in at 146. Look at that height advantage. That is very significant. You rarely see a welterweight at 6'2", and look at the reach advantage as well. Tall and rangy and lean welterweights, though, in the past, if they've had problems, it has been with stamina. So the question is, and it will be answered not necessarily tonight, but very shortly in Breland's career, how long can he go? Will it affect him? And look at Williams. Williams sensing this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Came flying out of his corner. He was all fired up and just came flying across the ring like Carl Lewis to try to knock Breland out quickly. But Mark has seen just about everything. And now they get back into a more established type of pattern here in the first round. But Williams came flying out, seeking a quick knockout. A little right hand right there that may have done a little less damage, I think, than the crowd thought. Breland is very agile and very, very quick. Moves exceptionally well. And Williams out in quest of a first-round knockout. But Mark begins to try to dictate the pace of it himself now. First round, first of the scheduled 6. Again, the scoring by round, the scoring done by the 3 judges at ringside. Mark Breland with a 6-inch height advantage and significant reach advantage. Quite evident when you look at the 2 men. As quick as they come. Halfway through the first round. Final fight on the program from Madison Square Garden. All of the Olympic champions tonight on this night of gold have won. Some more impressively than others. And now it is Mark Breland who attempts to make it a complete sweep against Dwight Williams of Syracuse. 1 minute remaining in the first round. Vincent Ranoni of the Bronx is the referee. Breland won the Olympics, but you'll recall he looked less than dominant at times. In fact, he was so highly touted beforehand that anything less than a gold medal would have been an unbelievable disappointment. And when you go in that touted, everybody wants you to win smashingly. Good little exchange right there. Breland tries to get in with a combination that's blocked effectively by Williams. We'll stay with you between rounds, and we'll go back into the corner of Mark Breland, whose training situation is still somewhat unsettled. But there he goes, back to the corner at the end of round 1. In his 22-foot ring.
Nice and easy.
Mark's parents in attendance tonight, and Breland got many of the free tickets. Since we mentioned it was his idea, he was able to take care of friends, family, probably everybody he knew through the years growing up in Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. George Washington, training him for this fight. He's managed now by Shelley Finkel, but the question as to the training situation in the future. Tommy Brooks actually really handling his preparation for this particular fight. Okay. But Mark Breland, some questions about Breland, the same questions that are asked about so many of the other amateurs.
Coming up late tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Nightline with Ted Koppel, fear as an instrument of power. How it's used in the marketplace by bosses trying to get more out of their employees. That's tonight on Nightline, following your late local news on most of these stations. Al?
All right, Chris, as we start the second round, talking about some of the questions that are asked about Breland, about his chin. Can he really take a punch since he's waded through an amateur career with very little problem? So you'll recall he did take a standing 8 count in his opening bout at the Olympic Games. And the question, as we've referred to before, since he's tall and rangy as he escapes that right hand, stamina. Never been more than 3. This one's scheduled for 6. We're in the second round. Dwight Williams and Mark Breland. Breland trying to work inside with a body. That was a good left. Now a right underneath as well. Go back up on top, and Williams is staying right with him. Williams, though, swinging wildly. Breland not being flustered. Breland attempting again now to put the pressure on as he backs him into the rope. Shot to the side, and again to the side of the head, and working with that left hand. A very good left was landed right there. A very good left hand, and Williams is in trouble. Williams is about ready to go. Williams staggering across the ring. Breland relentlessly putting the pressure on. Williams somehow escaping that barrage, weathering that temporary storm with 1:30 remaining in the second round. But a left hand set that all up by Breland. Now Breland with the body shots, the right hand to the side, the left underneath, the right again. Williams covering up. Williams punched over. Williams in a lot of trouble. Williams is somewhat of a difficult target in as much as Breland has that big height advantage. And he switches up, does Williams, and it's tough to get inside, tough to penetrate. That's the posture he's in right now. That's not going to win the whole lot of points. Now he lashes out with a right hand. 45 seconds remaining in the second round. Round belonging, as the first one did, to Mark Breland. This one far more convincingly than round 1. Half a minute to go. Second round. 21-year-old Mark Breland. Amateur record, 110-1, and he avenged that only loss. Waning seconds. Second round. A round totally dominated by Mark Breland.
Clint is a cop.
You take care of yourself.
Bert is a private eye.
I'm not disturbing you, am I? I got a situation here.
And together they of Minota.
Third round action now. The third round commencing at Madison Square Garden in New York. Mark Breland in the yellow trunks and Dwight Williams in the black trunks. Final bout on this night of gold in which all of the Olympians have won. Pernell Whitaker and Mildred Taylor in particular were extremely impressive. In this one, Williams came out, tried to steal a victory with a quick knockout early, sprinting across the ring. But Breland dictated the pace of the remainder of round 1 and dominated round 2. Now, somehow, some way, if Williams can hold on and withstand a little bit more, then the question might come into play about the stamina of Breland. Will he slow down? We might get an inkling of that tonight if this fight does indeed go past the third. 1 minute and 2. Round 3. Tempo a little slower here in the third round. Breland keeping up a furious pace for the first 2 minutes of round 2. Has backed off here in round 3. But still in control. Mark, as we've watched him do through the years, backing away, sliding away, slipping away, escaping the opponent's blows. With, as always, excellent movement. Right hand was partially blocked by Williams. Williams attempting to make himself a more difficult target. Covering up. Punching over. 40 seconds now left in round 3. Wild right by Williams. And evidence there of exactly what Breland is so adept at doing. Moving away. The blow was not even glancing. Third round, pretty inactive round as far as Breland fights are concerned, especially coming on the heels of the second. Now Mark begins to pick it up with a little combination. So for the first time in his career, Mark Breland will go on to a 4th round when we come back.
Saturday on CFA College Football. The excitement continues with an all-time classic rivalry. See the nation's #1 team, the explosive Nebraska Cornhuskers, battle for the Big 8 championship and a coveted Orange Bowl berth when they take on 6th-ranked Oklahoma. Or the eyes of Texas will be watching a crucial Southwest Conference matchup when Cotton Bowl hopefuls clash as 9th-ranked Texas meets #10 TCU. Action begins live at 3:30 Eastern on CFA College Football.
Two very interesting stories coming up next on 2020. We told you about the report on aerobic exercise, and you might find the results surprising. Its effects also in light of the baby face situation, so well chronicled of late. A report on the miracle drug helping transplant patients to keep from rejecting their new organs. Those are the stories coming right up on Nightline, or coming right up on 2020, and then following your late local news, we'll take a look at Nightline as you see Rod Steiger in attendance at Madison Square Garden in New York. 4th round, Mark Breland in his professional debut going into the 4th round for the first time ever. Since in amateur boxing, you go just 3. Williams has had some experience at these distances, even though he has fought as a professional for only a year and a half. But he has gone as long as 8. And he won that fight back in March of this year. Questions about Breland, stamina, talking about the tall and rangy and lean welterweights, having troubles over the years. But still, Mark, even though the pace isn't nearly what it was in the second round when it looked like Williams was ready to go, it is still Breland's fight. Williams, tough guy to get inside against. Good worthy opponent, though, for Breland in his initial pro bout. Crowd would like Breland to cap the evening with a knockdown, so they are exhorting him on. And Mark is responding. Williams still, though, able to lash back. Covering up again is Williams. Hoping Breland will punch himself out of it. Dwight, I'm sure, would like to take advantage if he can find that one opening. But Breland hasn't given him any room either. 50 seconds to go. 4th round. Williams backed himself into the corner that time. and now hangs on as Ranoni separates him and somewhat admonishes Williams in the process. 30 seconds now remaining in round 4. Breland with a flicking left jab. Mark to get control of the pace as the 4th round winds down at Madison Square Garden.
Last Tuesday night, ABC News election coverage was rated #1. Peter Jennings covered the 84 vote from the beginning. He's also reported from 98 countries and all 50 states. He's covered everything from wars to the Olympics. To get a better understanding of the news, you'd have to live his life.
What is happening?
Thanksgiving season, spotlighting outside Empire State Building, down the street, actually, a couple of blocks away here in New York. And as we come back inside, an overhead view into the corner of Mark Breland, who right now gets set to come out for round 5 in his professional debut. Came very close to knocking Williams out. In the 2nd round, he has controlled the fight.
Step back. Watch your head. Watch your head.
And as we say, with the fans of Breland looking on, people who have known him, other New Yorkers who have watched him, they'd like to see him end it if he can with a knockout. But Williams has proved to be a pretty tough guy to get inside. One of the criticisms regarding Breland through his amateur career, keeping that left hand low. He's prone to do it. He knows about it naturally. Everybody talks to him about it constantly. Tonight he's exhibited those same tendencies as well, but it has not been costly. Breland, one of 4 gold medalists in action tonight. The silver medalist, Virgil Hill, won on a 2nd round TKO. As Breland puts the pressure on again, a good staggering left followed by a right hand. Williams was staggered, but again, Williams covers up and absorbs the punishment. Williams comes back with a left. Not really that effective. Dwight proving very game. Williams covering up, defense, obviously trying to survive the round and make it through the fight, but offensively doing very, very little. Occasional sporadic punch, good straight left hand there by Breland. Under a minute now remaining in round 5. Scheduled for 6. Breland still flicking those jabs, but Williams giving him very little to work with. Not doing very little himself. Breland initiating all of the action here in round 5. Very much in control of the pace of the fight. So while Breland may not be on his way to what would be referred to as a scintillating victory, he is nonetheless in full control here as the bell sounds ending round 5. Some of the crowd booing. I guess half booing Williams, half booing the fact Breland can't knock him out. But as Chris stated before, everybody gets in free. You talk about the ultimate in ingratitude. Get in for nothing and boo like crazy. Slow motion action in the 5th round with Breland getting Williams on the ropes, staggering him. But not not finishing him off. So Williams came out of the first round seeking that early quick knockout. Wouldn't that have made for some pretty good headlines tomorrow morning? Had Breland been caught off. But Mark, as you say, has seen it all in his amateur career. 111 amateur fights, and tonight seeking his first pro win. Round 6, sixth and final round for Breland. Eldrick Taylor, a first-round winner tonight. Virgil Hill, second-round winner. Evander Holyfield, successful in his debut. Pernell Whitaker, second-round TKO in his fight. Terrell Biggs winning a decision. And now Breland on his way to what should be a very easy decision here. So Williams, in a sense, accomplishing one of the things he thought about, that is to last the fight. But in another, he's taken on the punishment. On our card, and I would think on anybody's card, he has not won a round tonight. His cornerman exhorting him to punch, to open it up, to go for it. Doesn't appear to have very much left. Oh, right hand right there. But Breland still active, still showing good movement. Frustrated in his attempts to get through. But that's really dictated by the posture assumed by Williams more than anything else. Breland looks to be pretty fresh. He's not totally answering all questions tonight, obviously, but as you look at him go twice as long as he's ever gone before, not bad. Exchange there. Now Breland begins to pour it out again. Williams is going to go for it. Knowing he has nothing to lose at this point. Seeking the knockout, but really unable to get anything behind any of those punches. And it's Breland who continues to do the damage. Coming up on the half-minute mark now. Blood begins to flow from the mouth of Dwight Williams. Good part of the crowd on its feet, knowing that Breland's going to win his professional debut. He won't do it by knockout. Echoes of Los Angeles now reverberate through Madison Square Garden. We come 3,000 miles east, and you still hear USA, USA, as this bout ends. Mark Breland, in his pro debut at Madison Square Garden, will have the decision in a minute.
Who has intelligence, powerful sound, and moves with ease? Only RCA. Introducing the ultimate VCR. It's easily portable. It's intelligent, so you can select by remote control exactly what you want to record right from your TV screen. And it has powerful VHS hi-fi sound that's superior to any audio cassette. The ultimate VCR, only from RCA. Technology that excites the senses.
Will be announced very shortly by Ed Darien, the ring announcer, and there's very little mystery as far as that is concerned. As you look at Mark Breland, the heralded amateur who makes his pro debut tonight. Again, Williams, very, very tough to get through against. It appeared in the second round Breland would perhaps knock him out, and as you look at action from the sixth round, still the pressure applied by Breland, who was relatively active throughout, who went twice as long as he's ever gone before, who dominated and dictated the pace of this fight. And as we say, not necessarily the most scintillating of victories for him, but a win nonetheless, and now Ed Darien to make it official.
Unanimous decision in his professional boxing debut, Mark Breland
a clean sweep as Breland makes it 6 straight. All the Olympic medalists win their pro debut at the Garden. We'll be back.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
I got my kids a robot for Christmas.
Radio Shack's Armatron, a robotic arm that works just like a robot. Play laboratory and simulate scientific experiments. Move game board pieces. Or test your speed and skill doing delicate operations with the globes.
Mark Breland is now with me. The crowd has just acknowledged his victory. Your impressions now of your pro debut?
He was a tough fighter. I went in a couple of times. He was pretty awkward. I couldn't really connect him with the jabs. So I said, I'm going to go to 6 rounds. To prove to myself I could go 6 rounds in a fight, not just going in the gym.
All right, the big question about stamina as far as you're concerned. How did you feel in rounds 4, 5, and 6?
That's when I got my energy. In the 4th, 5th, and 6th round. First 3 rounds, I got a little tired. The last 3 rounds, I felt much stronger. I started bouncing more. My jab started working a little bit more. And I was starting to work more on body shots. We were going more to the body. And the 3rd round, I was starting to tire myself out a little bit, banging to the body, instead of going up and stepping to the side and coming up with an uppercut. I heard a couple of my friends hollering, bring it up the middle, this guy, Kevin Isaac. And he was telling me, come up the middle, and I started throwing it up the middle, and I started catching him a little bit more. But my stamina's strong. My finish, I was saying, well, I'm going to get out there and finish strong. And that's exactly what I did.
Briefly, did he shock you by what he did in the 1st round, coming out like that, seeking the knockout that quickly?
Yeah, he did kind of shock me a little bit. So when he ran out, I hit him with a right hand that cut him a little bit, and I was trying to work more on that cut, but he wouldn't come in. It was pretty hard to jab in the first 3 rounds, just standing there. But as I started bouncing, he started to give a little bit.
All right, congratulations to you, Mark, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you very, very shortly.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all my fans for coming out.
Okay. Mark Breland, winner tonight at the Garden. All right, Chris.
Okay, the evening started with silver medalist Virgil Hill winning in the 2nd round. Gold medalist Meldrick Taylor winning in the 1st. Evander Holyfield extended 6. Pernell Whitaker in the 2nd. Biggs extended, as was Mark Breland. Those 3 fighters who went the distance were taught a lesson tonight.
The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Tonight's United States Olympic boxing medalist professional debut was produced by Terry Jastrow, directed by Alex